Hello everybody, Stucco Mason Mike here. I'm going to be doing a solely conventional panel on a Parging here. It's actually a desk skirt. We did paper wire about 3 weeks ago, paper wire scratch coat, and now we're going to come on and put the finish coat. It's going like a charcoal gray or whatever. So I'm going to spread it out. I got handy dandy assistant man who's going to scoop mud to me. He's a good man. I don't care what anybody says. So yeah, let's do this. I usually do acrylic stuff and just parging over foundation, not over scratch coat. So this is a treat. Ain't sure? Yep. Here we go. So this mud will burn very fast if you aren't on top of things. So what I do with my corner and my starting point is I'll always put my mud on a little extra thick to make sure that, because you got to take a little extra time to get into your stone edge and make sure that you got really good into your top corner edge so that there's no gray showing. So I'll usually just get a quick coat on. I'll get a little bit more mud, and I'm going to bring my edge all the way back to my stone just to freshen up my mud. I'll do an upstroke, and then a downstroke, and then I don't want to touch that anymore. And then when I put my next stroke on, I'm going to be coming about 3/4 of the way back over top of my previous trowel line, because that way you're always making sure that you have a wet lie. See how I'm coming 3/4 of an inch back where I started? A lot of guys' instincts would be to go and your trowel width away, but when you do that, your mud will be so dry that you don't have a good time. So that's a good tip for anybody who's just starting out, is to make sure that you always have good overlap. The less overlap you have, the drier your wall's going to be. And it might feel like you're spinning your wheels a little bit because you're only going about 2 inches across the wall at a time. But the quality is the most important thing, right? After we do this, we're going to be doing a nice California texture, which is going to be decent. And then, of course, everything gets cleaned and wiped before we go, so the lines get all nice and cold. And we always try to make sure we do a nice job prepping and a nice job cleaning up, because stucco's a messy trade. And it's like a known messy trade, right? So customers automatically know that if stucco guys are coming, they're going to be making a mess. So they automatically look for a mess when the stucco guy leaves, because that's their expectation. So if you can make it so that when you leave, there is no mess, then you usually have really happy customers, because they're expecting a mess. And then there's no mess when you leave, and away you go. I'm using a smaller trowel than I normally use. I normally use a 16, but I find with doing a conventional finish, a smaller trowel, it's easier to change your pressure from the left side of your trowel to the right side of your trowel, which when doing conventional finish is very important. Stucco is about 90% feeling the mud in behind your tools. It's advice that my uncle gave me when I first started this. He said, you want to be a good caster, you got to learn to feel the mud behind your tools, because you obviously can't see in behind there, right? And a guy's arm might burn a little bit after doing this enough, because it's one of those things that once you start, you can't stop. You can't just stop right in the middle of the wall to go for coffee or take a piss or do whatever. You got to pretty much get to the end, or else you're going to have nasty joint lines. As you can see, it dries so fast that if you're not on top of it, you're going to have a bad time. I've been getting a lot of subscribers lately from Latin America, places like California, New Mexico, Arizona, Nevada, places like that. So I want to give you guys a big shout out. Say hello to you. Thank you for subscribing to my channel. I'm way up here in Canada. It's only been nice enough to spread mud on the wall for literally like 3-4 days. So it's nice to be able to be back on the wall after a winter of not being able to get on the wall. I think this middle panel is the biggest one, eh? I think it's bigger than the ones on the end.
Oh, looks like it.
Yep. If you want to maybe move your wheelbarrow a little closer.
Yeah.
I don't talk as much because I'm too far away and you probably can't hear me. So I'm just going to finish my wall. And then one last thing is when you get to your other corner, you're also going to have to take a little bit of time to fill in your stone edge. So once again, just apply your mud a little bit of extra thickness. So it gives you that extra 15-20 seconds of working time that you need. That was the flat coat. I'm gonna stop the video for now and I will get back to you when I come texture. Thanks for watching. Alright, we're gonna do video number 2 of the texture. My favorite part. While the boys finish up the flat coat, I'm gonna texture my panel that we saw earlier. I love to texture. My favorite thing to do.
beautiful thing, that young man.
Favorite thing to do.
There now.
I don't get to do conventional texture very often.
Of course.
Thank you. My wall looks pretty good too.
It does, yeah.
All from having to hide under steps. All from Parging or texturing under steps where Uncle Joe couldn't fit.
Yeah, I apologize.
No, don't apologize.
I started using the same way my boss started.
No, don't apologize. It's like,
Yeah.
I'm happy,
He
thankful.
used to make me go under the tightest of decks,
Yeah.
and I hated it, and it always smelled like urine because
Oh, yeah.
So I textured super fast under that. It was so gross.
There's been a few times where you go to carve a corner and there's like, it's wet still from the drywall, guys. All right, there's a textured wall. I'm going to take you and show you a close-up of it before if I stand behind here. Trying to keep my shadow out as much as possible. And then we'll go the other way just for posterity's sake. That's a not knocked down. I was going to knock it down, but it's drying pretty fast and it started to burn, so I'm just going to leave it as just a straight up California. And then when it's done, I'll come and take another video of the walk around. But anyways, back to work. Thanks guys. Like and subscribe to my channel.